Hey everyone, as always, Dylan Miller Prospecting. Welcome to the Tuesday Night Gold Panning Fever, episode number 221. Tonight we're going to be going through some Motherlode Prospecting Paydirt. This is a $200 bag that the gold was doubled in it. So $400 worth of gold in here. Or I guess that's what's supposed to be in there. We'll have to see in a second, but let's catch up with chat really quickly. Ortiz, thank you for being here, being a mod, and being very early. Stephen LeBlanc, how's it going, brother? Hopefully you're doing well. Richard McCarthy, thank you for joining the show. Bierman, how's it going? Let me know when the tiny painters get their stuff in. Hopefully it gets there. Michael Reed, how are you? I'm sure your other half will be here soon from MCD Prospecting. I appreciate both of y'all being here. Outfitter, how's it going? Thank you very much, and thank you for the dono, brother. I appreciate it. Those left behind, how's it going? And yeah, as soon as you Dave, as soon as you I sent that message to you and you replied to me, I was like, duh. Of course that's what it was. Like, I even remembered you telling me that's what it was. Get so forgetful sometimes. Who else is here? Shane Berthero, how's it going? Ayad, how's it going? Whiskey Lover, thank you very much. I appreciate it very much, kind sir. Brad's Bucket, yeah, go shower off, brother. No one wanted to tell you, but we're glad you're going. Brian, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Learn the Wild, thank you very much. You really didn't have to. I'm still going to do the exact same review, but I appreciate it. And take notes, any Paydirt sellers. See, this is how you handle when I'm doing something live. You throw a dono. So glad. I've been waiting. This has been sitting hidden. I didn't even have it on my shelves because I didn't want anyone to see that I was reviewing it. And I have been patiently waiting. I wanted to skip ahead so much to do this, but it was really good Paydirt. You know, can't beat 110% ROIs. You really can't. Well, 118 you can. So John Gear, John Feeler, how's it going? Whiskey Lover, thank you for being here, being a mod alongside HD Chevrolet. Who else we got? Donna. How are you, Donna? How have you been doing? I've missed you. Hopefully you're doing better, doing good, I should say. Hopefully everyone's doing better, but hopefully you're doing good, Donna. Tomcat Josh, how's it going? Jose, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Miss Independent, thank you for joining the show. I think I've got everybody. KC String, Mr. Mean Leaf, Alpine Prospecting, Rum Barbecue, Nightbot, thank you for joining the show. Fulfilling all your orders? Yeah. Figured you would get a few. Once you tell somebody they're going to get over 100%, they generally flock to it. And I've been telling all my Patreon members to kind of hold their money. And it's funny, I got a couple text messages from sellers complaining that I was telling people to save their money until Monday's video. They were like, let them buy other stuff first. I was like, well, you know, Paydirt costs money. I want them to, make sure they get the best ROIs possible if they're my Patreon members. So, I try not to show any favoritism or anything like that. But, I want everyone to get regardless of who the seller is, I want them to get the top ROIs. So, John Myers, Grateful American, how's it going? Refotris, what's up? You made it this time. All right, let's pop out chat. Move everything else, make that here. There we go. So yeah, so today it's not going to be too much panning. This is easier Paydirt to go through. I will try to be very careful with it because surprisingly there was so much fine gold in here. And this should have, here, I have my notes here on it. We'll have to see how good my guesses are. But I wrote down that I should have been guaranteed 2.736 grams. Which would have given me a 112.80% ROI. That's what I'm basing this off of. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what the final numbers are. I am going to dry up all the gold tonight, and we're going to do it. So let me see where it is. Let me get chat. Yeah, so we're going to dry up all the gold we got out of this bag tonight. We're going to weigh it up on live show to see how much we get. Now, again, this is a live show, and I'm chatting and I'm reading chat the entire time I'm panning. So I am sure I will miss a little bit of gold. I'm just hoping anything I miss is like the -40 stuff that doesn't budge the scale as much. So I want to see how close we can get to the 2.736. Now, again, that is not guaranteed. You might be doing different math than me. Mike, Gold Nugget Sales, how are you, my friend? Hopefully you're doing well. Greg R, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. I appreciate everyone that's here tonight. I really do. Yeah, they're going to be going to the post office a lot. So, like I said, you know, I was talking to somebody about it yesterday. I'll be curious to see how long this 110% lasts. You know? Hopefully it lasts for a while. But, we've seen a few sellers come out right out the blocks with really, really high ROIs. And then they realize they can kind of lower their ROI and still make good money and still be busy. So, Jeff, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Ginger Wolf, thank you very much, brother. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm definitely hoping for some heavy pants today. I need this gold. I've been, wedding coming up and stuff like that. I just purchased some gold for my future Patreon tier member rewards and stuff like that. Well, it's in the mail. But then after that, I have to shut down. I won't be buying gold again until next year, pretty much, because, got to pay for other things. And, not everyone wants to see you all of a sudden, cough up $1,000, $2,000 towards gold that you might sell in the future for Patreon members. So we'll have to see. So I need some heavy bags for the next couple months to help pay for stuff and keep my Patreon members' fever away. So I got the bag I won from Jeff and Slim. Oh man, Outfitter, send me a message on Patreon when you're done. I want to know how much gold you find. I know I'm gonna have to rejoin. I guess I'm gonna have to rejoin Jeff. I left Jeff after a while, and kind of in protest that Patreon wasn't forcing him to do a gold guessing contest. They were essentially letting him do whatever he wanted because, he's got, 1,200 plus Patreon members. And I thought it was kind of unfair that people like me and Jason from Flower Gold Wizards and Vendetta and all these other people that had Patreon channels were forced to change and do gold guessing contests that was open to everybody. And Jeff was able to just, $50 tier. That was it. If you were a $50 tier, you could win. And that was, or higher. And, so I kind of left in protest that, they weren't, forcing the rules on everyone. It was kind of, good for thee, but not for they, and, stuff like that. So, I might have to go back and see how he's doing his, gold guessing contest. I saw he did change. So I'm guessing they forced him to change a little bit, but I'm curious if it's open to every tier and stuff like that. So, yes. And, well, Dave, those left behind, is it actually from there? Because I saw in the description, it says a different source. It says a different source of Hard Rock mine. So does he actually say that it's from the same place that the old Hard Rock was from? Because I was going to order one last night because I was like, well, I was one of the ones that didn't get a really good bag and I want a really good bag. So I was going to order one yesterday, but that kind of confused me on the thing. And I didn't want to bug him because it was late. It was like midnight last night when I was looking at it. And I didn't want to bug Dave on, chat asking him if there was something different. So I'll have to see. So 2 things. So Outfitter, let me know how much gold you find in the Jeff Williams. And then does anyone know if this Gold Bay material is actually from the same spot as the old place? Because I thought he had worked it and essentially shut down from that. It was my understanding that he was no longer there. So, because I think he petered out the area where he was working. So Teo Explores Outdoors, what's up, brother? How's it going, my man? So, but yeah, he does have, I did look earlier today and Gold Bay is down. I think he said he had 85 bags to start. He is down to 30 bags. So, oh, that sounds good, Tomcat. I'm excited to see that one. So let me see. Here, let me see. I need to I am not subscribed to a few people. Give me 1 second. I see I'm not subscribed. Dorothy, how are you? Thank you for joining the show. And Tomcat Josh, let me make sure. I'm still. Yeah, okay. Just wanted to make sure. Oh, I didn't get a notification for yours yesterday, Tomcat. So that's probably why I thought I was unsubscribed, but I'm still subscribed. Just YouTube's no good. Donna, thank you very much, Donna. I really appreciate that. Jason G, what's up? It says Marilosa decided to say no. All right. Yeah, that was the thing is, you know, I like Dave. I think Dave is one of the OG Paydirt sellers and stuff like that. But it always does worry me with Paydirt vendors when, you know, they get something that's a hit. They kind of want to recreate that hit because they know, I mean, the original one, I think Dave had, 60 bags and he sold out like 24 hours. I mean, that's a lot of money incoming, you know. So, you know, if anyone knows Dave, they will see occasionally he will post on Facebook and, you know, all these places when he needs some funds to fund his next little adventure. He'll pop in. He might need a pump or something like that. And he'll pop in to try to sell, you know, a $10,000 piece of gold or something like that quickly. You know, this is a quick way. And, you know, so I'll be curious to see if the results of this. I'll probably grab one after the show. Let me write a note. If there's still a bag after the show, I'll probably grab one to see. Hopefully I can get better results in my last one. Last one, I think I got exactly what I was guaranteed. So, Ginger Wolf, congratulations, brother. I believe I can get it wholesale for 165 or so. Well, that's good. Oh, you got a wholesaler? I did see that. I did see he said that the other day. You can become a wholesaler for him and something. I'm gonna have to look more into that and see exactly what he's doing. So, Joey Brown, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Cockatoo, Birdman, Bill, and anyone, if I miss you in chat, I apologize. When I talk, I can't read and, you know, do other things. So, I appreciate you all being here tonight. If you're, you know, here. Dave has a couple. Yeah, I know. I mean, Dave's always hopping around, moving around place to place, but it was just under my understanding that he was no longer working the last Hard Rock place. That doesn't mean he didn't save, you know, a 5-gallon bucket or two of the material or stuff like that. I just thought it was, you know, maybe not going to be as good as the last Hard Rock that really sold out and everyone enjoyed because, you know, it's the one thing I've been saying about Dave for a while. You know, I've been a huge Gold Bay fan from day one when I started these reviews 9 years ago. When he used to just put them in a orange burlap bag, and you'd have, you know, 10 pounds of material in a orange burlap bag that was leaking dust everywhere, you know. But in his old Paydirt, it was kind of like the original, you know, Paydirt. You'd buy a 1 gram and you might find 3 grams. You might buy a 5 gram and find 8 grams. You know, it was always a, you know, chance that you were going to really find some extra gold. And it wasn't like a bonus bag type thing. It was just because he was throwing material that he was working in there. And then it kind of went away from that and just became standard Paydirt, you know, where it's just kind of like, okay, here's some dirt. There's no real gold in it, but we'll add gold for a good value. It was just, you know, it was standard, you know, we're making you a bag of Paydirt. And this one, this last Hard Rock was more like that, his original stuff. So I'll be curious if the new one is like that too. Dina, how are you? Mega Silver Stacker, thank you all for joining the show. I really appreciate it tonight. Yeah, the Mexican gold. Yeah, I really enjoyed the Mexican one. I've said it a couple times. I said it the last time we talked about Dave on the show. You know, like I said, most of his Paydirts have been pretty, you know, typical, normal Paydirt. And then I guess it was early last year when he did the Mexican Paydirt. I really enjoyed that one. That one was really good. And then this one was good. And I hope he keeps doing this. I really do. I mean, I hope every time he goes to work somewhere new, I mean, even if it's once a year or twice a year, you know, even once a year. If once a year he goes somewhere and says like, look, hey, look, you know, I'm working Alaska today, so we're going to have some Alaska Paydirt. I think it'll do well. So, Kristen, there you go. Well, hopefully it's something good. Thank you for joining the show. Catch me in the AM. How's it going? Thank you for joining the show. So I always like it when sellers, do something new or pop out some new Paydirts, you know. So, but yeah, but tonight we're not going through any gold bag. Tonight we're doing Motherload Prospecting. If you have not picked this up yet, make sure you do. Motherlodeprospecting.com. Maybe one of the mods will drop a link. I do have Nightbot is supposed to say it, but I don't remember what Nightbot's supposed to tell you when and how often. Nightbot should be popping a link up every once in a while. But all of these bags, no matter which bag you get, is guaranteed 110% ROI, not including shipping, just on the price itself. So if you buy a $50 bag, it should have $55 worth of gold in it. If you buy the $300 bag, it should have $330 worth of gold in it, based on the spot price of gold when you purchase it. So, and I will say, I was really, really impressed, because I can tell you, I had on my notes, on the bottom here, when I bought this, or when I had my secret shopper purchase this, I had my, I was with them, and I made sure that we wrote down the spot price on both AppMex as well as Kitco, just so we could track and see, like, okay, how's he going to do this? Is he just going to send you a, because I wasn't sure if we were just going to get a bag of Paydirt in the mail, and it's just going to be like, oh, well, we're saying that spot price was, 5,000. When in reality at that time it was 5,200. But I really, really was impressed. I don't think I talked about it too much. I know I talked about it a little bit in the video, because I have to keep them kind of short. But I was really impressed with the fact that it came with a sheet of paper telling me exactly what the spot price was when I ordered it in your view, and it was close. I think we were off. Let me see. What was it? Yeah, you posted it as... Yeah, 160.79, and Kitco had it as 159.35. So, I mean, it was like, $1 off in between the two. So, I don't think anyone would complain about that. Yeah, double the bag is definitely worth it. I did, for anyone that's curious, I know in today's daily ROI chart, I hadn't put in Motherload Prospecting yet, just because I had to do a whole bunch of, calculations, and I had to put a whole bunch of calculations, and I was just, today I've been, if anyone knows, I've been dealing with some real sinus infections and being sick. So today I wasn't feeling as well. I needed to catch up on some rest, so I slept a lot. I slept a lot. So I didn't feel like doing the calculations. My brain was not for math braining. So, and in case Liz is watching, which I think she is, hi Liz. So, but I did do it. So tomorrow I will have all the Motherload Prospecting on there. I don't know how I'm going to put them on the list, since they don't have a guaranteed set amount of gold. I haven't figured out that part, but they'll start being on the daily ROI charts over on Patreon if you're a Patreon member. PA, what's up, brother? Modern Michigan Prospector, how's it going? 12th Man Brett, how's it going? Anyone else if I missed you? But Curry, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Imagination of Form. Ollie Skeeter, how's it going? Oh, no. Hopefully it's just because, it went out and it wasn't stolen, Ollie Skeeter. But, man, that sucks. No, not yet, Modern Michigan. I have it. It is coming... It is coming out this month. The video is coming out this month, Modern Michigan. It is coming out this month. I actually, oh, that reminds me, because I was looking on Amazon. I need something. I'm actually going to review it more scientifically than just panning with it and saying, oh, this works, because anybody can say, anything works. So I am ordering some stuff from Amazon to make a little bit more scientific approach to it. So I haven't used it yet. I'm still using Jet Dry, my normal stuff, because I don't want to start using it and then be like, oh, wow, now I want to shoot the video and messing and not doing it correctly. So Bradley, how's it going, brother? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Gonna have some dirt on eBay. That's awesome. Let me know when you do. Just wore out? Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things, man. It's almost worth buying a new car, $8,000. Yeah. So yeah, so I'm excited for it. I actually had forgot because I was like, man, I know I'm doing an equipment review this month, and I thought it was something else, but yeah. So I'm actually making 2 videos because of it. So one is going to be a video, then I will be doing one with yours. So yeah. But all right. So what is Gold Spot, by the way? So it's Gold Spot today. Alan, what's up, brother? Thank you for joining the show, brother. Earlier today was 168. Has it dropped much? Because that's going to mean, even though I'm still going to go off the Gold Spot when I purchase this of $160.79 per gram, it's at 167. So yeah, I might have a little bit higher. And thank you, HD. I'll have to, here, let me type him in right now and see. But yeah, I checked him earlier. He had 30 bags, so I don't think he'll sell out in that time. You know, I shouldn't say that. The other day I was trying to get a gold nugget from somebody. It had been sitting on their website for 2 weeks. I went to go buy it and it was gone, so. Yeah, he still has some. They'll have some for the end of the show. So, unless everyone in the show goes and buys some just to mess with me. I should salvage out the, yeah. Wes, what's up, Wesley? Watful in the house, how's it going? I wanted to, Wesley, is there a video of the, I was looking at, Jason's Circle account today, and I was looking on there, and I was looking with the stuff he sells, his Paydirt and stuff, and I saw y'all had, because I was looking at the low flow heads, because I was thinking, well, maybe I'll get one of those for a future video with something else. It was just another piece of equipment that doesn't have a header on it, and I was like, well, maybe I'll just order one of those. But then I saw he has his version of a Miller table, and I've never seen that. Is there a video of that, of Jason in that, the new, the Riptide or something like that? I'm assuming you're making those. Because I need to see those. I might need to make a video and make y'all get you even busier again. Well, man, I was thinking about just doing 99-cent starts. Well, if you start it as auction, you have no clue what it's going to end at. So, I mean, you could just have a bad day, and unless you put a minimum on it, a minimum, purchase. So he shows the Ripper more than once. Well, I need somebody link me a video. Send me one of my mods or anyone, or someone wants to send me a video where, not just where he shows it off and explains it. I don't want him just having it in the background. I want the video where he shows it off. I got here late. I can't leave a comment on the Nightbot link. I don't think Nightbot's posted the link yet. Has he? I don't believe Nightbot's posted the link yet, so that's probably why. None of my mods. Usually we don't start putting the hidden link until I start panning. So, Alaskan Adventure, how's it going? Or if anyone on Patreon, if Wesley, if you want to pop on Patreon and send me a link to it. So, it's a Ripper. Okay, that's what it's called. Yeah, the Ripper. Because I was like, what? I'm like, where is this? I'm like, how have I missed this? Probably has something to do with, me skipping and walking out of the room while I'm watching videos and going to do dishes and coming back in 5 minutes. So, Tony, how's it going? I'm sure I used it. Okay, I'll have to go look for it and see if I can find it. No, because that made me curious. I was like, oh, there's something new I don't know about. Because I do know I have all my equipment reviews planned out for the rest of the year except for one spot. I have one spot left over, so I can move some stuff around, do some stuff. We'll have to do that. So we'll have to see how that works. It's freezing. Yeah. You chose. Oh, that's awesome, Dave. Yeah, I really like that. It was at first, when I talked to Putz about that, it did confuse me on those big, nugget bags. I was like, the way he had it in his description, it looked like if you bought a 4-gram bag, you were going to get a 3+ gram nugget. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. Nobody's doing that. So I messaged him. I'm like, yeah, dude, you need to fix this description. It sounds like you're getting a 3-gram nugget. And he's like, you are. And I was like, oh, okay. I think so, Jeff. I really do. I don't think she's coming back. I think, it's one of those things. If you're, making money mining, it takes a lot of time and especially they stay kind of busy, and they do, if you're working 9 months out of the year really, really hard, 18 hours a day for 9 months, those other 3 months, you kind of don't want to then be working selling Paydirt, especially since they still have to plan for the next season, start getting permits, things like that. So I do think it is. I do have in my notes that I think tomorrow or Thursday, I'm going to try and play text message with her back and forth and see. So, no, sorry about that, Jose. Thanks. I appreciate that, John. Appreciate it. Glad, and hopefully you're all finding some gold out there. We appreciate, but I appreciate everyone who watches my shows. So, and just to reward you, I'm going to not make y'all look at my ugly mug anymore. We're going to switch to the pan. We're going to start going through this Motherlode bag. Again, this is the $200 bag with $200 worth of extra gold added to it. I will say, when these bags came in, I was so confused because I was like, I cannot tell the difference because I had two come in from a secret shopper, a $200 bag and a $200 doubled bag. And it's really, really tiny on the back, on the very, very bottom where it says 200 plus bonus gold added. So there we go. Let's shrink down the ugly mug, go to the panning, start panning. So here we go. Let's see. Start getting some of this gold. See if we can't. And again, I am going to weigh up the gold at the end of the show. So there's the pan. As you can see, and there's the old material from yesterday's video. Because I left it in there. I figured why change the water out when we're getting ready to use it again for the same dirt. So. All right, let's move some stuff around. Give me a second. And if one of the mods want to start dropping the hidden link, y'all are more than happy to drop the hidden link. I don't know why my tablet just keeps getting rid of live shows. It doesn't do. I can't get chat on my tablet anymore for whatever reason. Let's see. There we go. Thank you very much, Tomcat. I'll have to go through chat in a minute. Here, let me open it up now before I forget. All right. Thank you very much for that, Tomcat. I appreciate that. Thank you to all my mods for dropping the hidden link. I appreciate that just as much. And again, if you're new to this channel or you're new to this first time, the mods are dropping a link. It will say, win a chance to spin the wheel and win one of 25 prizes with a link. If you click that link, it will take you to a hidden video. And on that hidden video, if you leave a comment, later at the end of this show, I will pull one name out of all those comments. That person, once they claim and announce they are here, and I see that they are here in live chat, I will spin a wheel that has 25 prizes from gold to silver and copper and a whole bunch of other prizes. And you will win that prize, and then I will ship it to you. All just for watching my ugly mug and watching me do some panning. So make sure when you see the hidden link, you go leave a comment. All right, let's slap some gloves on. Bill Snodgrass, how's it going? Aaron Mack, Lindsay Bowe, thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. TM, how's it going, brother? All right. And again, if you're a Patreon member, don't forget, I do have the new gold guessing contest up. So you can win some Paydirt or some silver. So make sure you go over there and post your guess. Because a lot of people seem to forget every single month and say, oh man, I forgot. So I'm going to start trying to remind everyone during the live shows. So here we go. Here is the material. There we go. We're going to start painting this. Now, the owner of the company did tell me, I don't know if he's still here or not. I think he said he's just listening in. But he did send me a message because I did buy another bag. I did buy this new bag in my name. It's just going to be for a future Tuesday show. He did tell me all the gold in these bags of Paydirt, he did mine himself. So that's a great thing. And I think it should be in the description, you know, where the gold is from, where the material is from, how much the bag of Paydirt weighs, things like that should definitely be in the description. I think it's one of the reasons when I personally choose a bag of Paydirt for myself just to pan out when I'm not doing a review on it or not doing a Tuesday night show. A lot of times I buy a bag of Paydirt because I think it's going to be unique. I want to buy bags of Paydirt that somebody dug up the dirt themselves, they dug up the gold themselves. That to me is worth it. And I will usually, you know, take a lower ROI for those things, but in this case I won't need to. You know, because I think that's special. You know, some guy in Florida who's just selling his tailings from gold nugget sales that he bought and that he's adding some of the gold in and charging extra for. You know, there's nothing special about that, you know, so this, all right. Start with a little pan, see how much fine gold's in this one. Ah, yeah. Rascally kids go to bed early, you get to hang out. I appreciate that, brother. So we'll see if I can capture all the fine gold tonight. Like I said, I am going to try to weigh this all up tonight to see how much we find. All right. See, Learn the Wild is the owner of this Paydirt Motherlode Prospecting. So if anyone has any questions, you can tag him on here, ask him some questions. Keep him busy instead of fulfilling orders. So first pan, I mean, got some gold in there. Got some tiny gold all the way up. So again, I think this bag should have right around, by my calculations, 2.7 grams. So and you know, this is one of those bags of Paydirt too, where I wish I would have thought before I actually bought it, because I really would have loved to have done this instead of just as a review, but as a full review, getting a $50 bag, $100 bag, $200 bag, and $300 bag, you know. So I could have compared the results from all four bags. And it would only cost me like $100 more, you know. to do that and have a bag for Tuesday. So yeah, it really is your best bet is to get the doubled bags. You know, so like if you only have $200, don't get the $200 bag. You're better off getting the $100 bag doubled. Um, just math wise, I will say somebody did comment on my Patreon about that. Yeah, this is Nico's Paydirt. Yeah. Um, somebody did comment on my Patreon about how, math wise, it's better to get the cheaper bags because but that's saying, if this was a guaranteed set amount of gold, that does count. So like if you bought a $50 bag and it was guaranteed whatever, a quarter gram, if that's all he put in. And then if the $100 bag was guaranteed a half gram, the math does say it's better to buy the $50 bag because you're going to get the exact same ROI no matter what. But the problem is some sellers, I'm not saying this is what Nico does or anything like that, is if they see an order for a $50 bag of Paydirt and the minimum, what they're guaranteed is a quarter gram, they might only put in 0.26. Whereas a person who's buying a $300 bag and the minimum is whatever is, I guess that would be what, 3 times. So it'd be 1.5. So if the minimum was 1.5 grams, instead of them just putting in 0.1 times 6, they might put in a lot more gold. So there is always that, because I know somebody just spent $300. You want a $300 customer to come back as a $300 customer. So they might have extra gold more in the bigger bags than the smaller bags. He might be a little bit more tight-fisted when it comes to the double bags, for example. So like if for example, say that $100 bag is a half a gram. And he normally, if you just bought the $100 bag and he puts in 0.55, he puts in that 0.5 extra. If you buy double, he might not put in 0.55 times 2. He might put in 0.55 plus the guaranteed 0.5. So, you've cheated yourself out of a little bit of gold by doubling it. So there's all kinds of math. Mr. Hogan, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it as always. And yeah, so, that's the one thing. Math can only tell you so much. Everyone knows I love doing the math when it comes to Paydirts. I love figuring out the ROIs before I buy Paydirt, things like that. But, it's also dependent on what the Paydirt seller actually puts in the bags, Man, I need to go on Camingo more. I'm gonna have to re-download the app, I guess. I know when it first came out, I was beta testing the Camingo, and it just drove me crazy. Grateful American, yeah, that is one of the problems. It's one of my problems that I love bear prospecting. I love their Paydirt. It's one of the reasons why I have their Paydirt on my shelf. But it drives me crazy that I have to pay tax on it. And there's some sellers, prospecting gear, I have to pay tax on it. But yeah, if you're in California, you're going to have to pay that chunk of change tax on this Motherload Prospecting. And Whiskey Lover, again, thank you very much for that box. It's nice of you and GNS to send it. I will say, with all these new sellers coming out this year, I did think I was going through my. I tell everybody all the time. I plan all my videos out all the way to the end of the year. I always try to plan it just so I know, I can organize secret shoppers and figure out how much gold will come in to satisfy my hungry Patreon members and things like that. Make sure I have enough gold every month for, doing contests and giving back to my Patreon members, things like that. And I was thinking, I was like, oh man, last year I only had top 4 for my championship battle. I'm like, I can't do that this year. I just won't be able to do just 4 sellers for a championship. There's way too many new sellers, and some of them are really, really good. So I'm gonna have to refigure out how I do my Paydirt championship this year, because there's so many new sellers, which is great. I really didn't think, hopefully they're all still around at the end of the year, but I know last year a few sellers opened and they all kind of closed. Because to open Paydirt nowadays and to sell Paydirt, you really have to have a good, reliable source of gold to stay in business. Because otherwise, if you're got 5 grams sitting in a jar and you say, I'm going to sell Paydirt, by the time it sells, you're not going to have enough money to buy 5 more grams. You're going to be able to buy 4 because gold's going up too fast. So you have to have a good enough source. Yeah, Grateful American. It was 99%. Yeah. Yeah, the $200 bag is 99. And that's counting in taxes and everything else, which you cannot complain about. Like I know somebody sent me a message and they're like, but it's not 110%, because even I say in the thing, I calculate shipping in my ROIs, and I think everyone should. And even though it'll be lower, it won't be 110%. It is 110% in the bag before you purchase it. And when you purchase it, you pay shipping, and the ROI does go down, whatever it is, 3 or 4%. There's no other seller selling a, $50 bag of Paydirt, which I think the $100 bag of Paydirt, or the $50 bag, I think the $50 bag, once you add in shipping, drops it to exactly 100%. There's no other seller selling a $50 bag of Paydirt with 100% ROI. So I could use one of the whiskey lover boxes. It depends on what's in the box, doesn't it? I've seen whiskey lover boxes full of whiskey. I've seen whiskey lover boxes full of cookies. My box came in today. It's full of coffee. It just depends. What are you in the mood for? One of those boxes will wake you up. One of those boxes will make you fat. And the other one will put you to sleep. Put you to sleep smiling, though. So far, all the whiskey lover boxes are good. Good guy in the community. $300 bag doubled. There you go, Shane. How's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. I mean, technically, that's where you're going to make all your, bump up your ROI is by doubling it. So, sorry to hear about that, Aaron. Hopefully you start feeling better soon, brother. Say, yeah. If you have a good enough stockpile, that's the thing is, like I said, I know, just from experience, I've seen people open up, and it's one thing, like if you have 5 or 10 grams, sell it on eBay as Paydirt. Like if you want to sell some Paydirt, sell it on eBay, well, probably I wouldn't sell it on eBay personally just because there's too many scammers. But, you can sell it to people in the community. You say, hey, look, I got 10 bags of Paydirt, 175 each. You get rid of your 10 grams, you don't sell again, until you build up another thing. But I've seen people that go through all the work, with 10 grams to open a website and, put all the hard work into taking pictures and writing up descriptions. Then they sell their 10 bags and they can't get gold. And they just, they essentially have to close and, it just, you got to have that business plan and you got to have the gold source. Like, even if it's more expensive. Like if you're buying gold from Dave or Gold Nugget Sales or somewhere like that, and you don't have the highest ROI, but you might be, overseas and getting really cool paydirt from one of the islands or something, So you've got a unique product, so you can sell it for a little bit more, Lord Shadow, how's it going, Lord Shadow? Thank you for joining the show. But yeah, if you've got that much gold, you'll be around for a little bit and just, start hitting up sources in between then. More gold. Still about all the same size gold. It's either chunky or tiny. So, oh, I will say one thing. I don't think I mentioned it in the video when I was talking about the difficulty of this paydirt. Not only is there a lot more fine gold than I expected in these bags, the chunkier gold is all flat. It's all flat gold. So, it's all gold that does not want to stay in a pan. Gold Pots, what's up, brother? Thank you for joining the show, and thank you for humoring me today with all the emails. Waiting on your next paydirt. It's going to probably be a while before I do another paydirt. Somebody asked me about that today. Somebody emailed me today and they're asking me, or maybe it was a comment. It was a comment on one of my videos. They were asking about paydirt, and I probably won't have paydirt. I might do one October, November, or December. That's it. Like I said, planning for a wedding and moving and, having to fix up my house to move, because my house is going to go up for rent or for sale or something like that once I'm married. So that means we're going to be paying 2 mortgages and only living in one until we figure out what to do with this one. And when you live in your house, you kind of let stuff slide, my studio is in my basement. Most people know that. My basement does not have any railings or walls on the stairs. It's just you open a door and there's a stairwell down with no sides, So if you fall, you're going to break something. That's not up to code. I live with it because I'm used to it and I know to walk down my steps slowly. But I do need to install walls. I have to finish up all the plumbing. As you all know, I have some very old cast iron plumbing in my house that I've slowly been piecing together and replacing. I need to actually bite down the bullet and just spend the $1,200 and replace all the piping out to the outside wall. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff, repaint. So I just don't have the funds. Well, I mean, I have the, I could come up with the funds to buy gold in bulk enough to do paydirt and actually make profit, because it would just tie up money, because usually what I'll do is if I find a good deal, somebody will sell me some gold and I'll get a good deal on it. I'll say, okay, well, I'll hold this for a month or two, then put up paydirt. When you're engaged, you can't be holding on to a big pile of gold when you get other expenses piling up. So I figure it'll probably be, like I said, late in the year for the Miller Prospecting next paydirt. And I want it to be something new. The last couple of times I've done paydirt, it's been kind of just like a rehash of paydirts. I don't want to do, as much as I know people love the Mighty Mini, I want to do something new. I do have a couple ideas of some new paydirts, but they'll, again, late in the year. So yeah, that's the way to do it, 12th man, is you get stockpile small gold, sell it, buy bigger gold. And my estimate for gold tonight is 2.73. That's how much I'm, by my math, I should be finding in this. So Shane, yes, 2.73 is what I'm guessing for tonight. And anyone, I apologize if I miss anything in chat. Try not to miss any gold tonight because I am going to be No, I have not. Lord, if you link to it, I'll open it up in another tab and make sure I watch it. No, I am way behind, see previous excuse on why no Paydirt on everything. We just met with our pastor today to make final plans and make sure the day was okay and, how much everything's going to cost and all that. So I'm way behind just on everything that's not Dylan related. Oh, that sounds cool, Mr. Hogan. I'm going to have to watch that. Just do a Paydirt with a 15%. Well, considering that I only sell Paydirt to my Patreon members, that following month my Patreon might be very void. Be like, wow, I only have one Patreon member. No. That's the other thing. When I do sell Paydirt, I do always like to have, I think the minimum ROI I've ever had is 79%. And, I will never go below 79% for an ROI. And that was when gold was, $79, so. I have been trying to think of a way to do like an old, a couple ideas I've had. I won't tell you all of them, but I've had a couple where they're cool containers, which is, so it'd be good shelf Paydirt. So the next Paydirt I do is either going to be a shelf Paydirt or I am going to redo the Lynch Mining, 5-pound bag Paydirts, where I will do those and just, but the problem with those, since they do have to be still cheap, because I'd still want to sell them for like, $40 shipped with 5 pounds of Paydirt and gold in them, is that I have to sell so many, to make it worth doing. I couldn't just sell, 20 of them like I typically do with Paydirt. I'd have to sell 50 of them. And then I don't know if I want to sell 50. All right, Aaron, go rest up and no worries. Yeah, 2.7 will give me 112% ROI. And that is because this is a $200 bag doubled. So the ROI is a little bit higher than 10% because you're paying a little bit less for the second pile of gold. But yeah. But I will not be happy unless I break the 3 gram mark. I got bills to pay. I appreciate that. Yeah, make sure you hit the like button, so YouTube's algorithm starts saying, oh, we like you, Dylan. We will never shadow ban your channel or anything like that. All right. Oh, this coffee smells so good. Wish y'all could smell it. Need to drink more of it. The house called the Money Pit. That was good. Battery charger and some root killer. Oh man, I'm gonna have to watch that. Here. Did you link it? You did. Here, let me open it up in another tab real quick. No, yeah. Water's not really too dirty. This isn't too bad. It just looks dirty, but you can see all the way to the pan and the material down. So, mine will be a cool containerish. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things is, like I said, there's 3 things that make me like a Paydirt. One is its originality. If it's something, like this one here, where it's somebody, like Nico, this is material he dug up, and the gold is the stuff that he's dug up. That's unique. I can't do that. And since I can't do that, then the second best thing would be the container. If you see my shelf behind me, when we get to my ugly mug part, most of the containers on my shelf are cool ones. Like I love Gold Nugget sales. He's one of my favorite sellers. He's my number one recommended seller. I don't just have his regular bags of Paydirt up on my shelf. Vendetta is also my brother. I love him. The two mics. Vendetta's Paydirts on my shelf are his unique bags that you can't really get, so I love a good container. And then the third one would just be, really, really high ROI. That's the other reason to buy a Paydirt. So, doesn't have to be the most unique container or anything else. The ROI always speaks, Ooh, clay bag. I won't be buying one of those. I still dread the old days when Dave had his red clay bags. Oh, those are just such a nightmare. I mean, they take a long time. Like I won't buy one for a review. That's for sure. Because I did do a review on a clay one, and it just takes forever because you have to rework the material so many times to make sure a little piece of gold isn't trapped in clay somewhere. But if you just want a bag to work at home, clay bags will take you forever. Curtis, there you go, brother. Just cover everybody in one foul swoop. There we go. Nice little pile of gold. Let's get this stick out of here. What is this? Piece of metal of some sort. All right. Doesn't need to be in there anyway. We don't need it. David Danderan, how's it going? And anybody, if I miss you in chat again, I apologize. I really do appreciate everyone that comes to these live shows. If one of my mods want to drop the hidden link, don't forget, the end of the show, if you leave a comment on the hidden link, I will be pulling one name out of the hidden link and spinning the wheel of treasures, and somebody will win something just for looking at my ugly mug and my cool black gloved hands. That's where that ultrafine gold comes from. Yeah. Yeah, fine gold loves clay. I don't like panning clay. I mean, it's not horrible. So it's just, like I said, yeah, it's just something you have to make sure you keep working the clay because, you'll see a little bitty rock and you'll think of a rock and you'll push it aside. Then, later on when you're repanning, you'll say, man, let me squeeze that little piece of rock. Nope, it was clay. It's got a little tiny piece of gold in it. That's awesome, 12th man. Send me a message. If you need my email, type, just type email into chat and Nightbot will give you my email address. Send me a message so you can keep me updated on it. I want to get that first bag. I will put one on my shelf. Depending on how much material's in it, I might buy two, one for a live show too. Been here from the beginning? Oh. Well, I was just ignoring you till now. Urban Prospecting, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show, even though you might have been here the whole time, Sue. That's awesome. Well, as long as you have fun, Shane, that's the key to anything. Panning at home or prospecting out in the wild, if you have fun. Like I said, I know most of my reviews and most people that do Paydirt reviews are going to focus, even myself, my daily ROI charts on Patreon. I focus very heavily on the top ROIs just because gold's expensive. People work hard for their money. Everyone should get the best ROI. But me personally, it is a lot about the fun. I would take a 90% Paydirt that's fun over a 100% Paydirt that's not fun. I can tell you one of the least fun bags of Paydirt I've ever bought was from Alaska Mint. I remember their name. They were so bad. It was Alaska Mint. There's a seller out of Alaska. They're a tourist shop, and they do sell Paydirt, So I ordered a bag from them. I think it was like their $100 bag of Paydirt, and this is when gold was $75 a gram. And it comes in a bag, a nice, real cool canvas bag, and got a bag in there with Paydirt. And when you open up the bag of Paydirt, there's a vial inside with whatever it was, $75 worth of gold. The gold wasn't even in the Paydirt. It was just in a vial. It was the least fun where like you see the gold before you even pan it, you know? It's like, getting a box for your kid's birthday present, wrapping it all up, then setting the birthday present on top of the box. Like, here's your present. Now do you want to open the box? 2.69. I am, based on my calculations, I am guessing I'm having a minimum of 2.73 in this bag. Now, I could get less. Again, I am painting this out on a live show. I typically do miss gold during live shows. I'm not a very good panner, especially I can't do two things at once. So I am Zaxxon. What's up, brother? I miss $40 gold. Like if I knew what I was doing back then, I mean, I miss dollar value menus on fast food places, I miss the dollar store when everything used to actually cost $1. Well, again, I should be guaranteed right around 2.73 out of this. So trying to make sure I get it as clean as possible. $0.50 candy bars, yeah. Oh, I mean, even chips. Like I went the other day to Walmart to grab something and I wasn't feeling so good. And I was like, just to treat myself, I'm going to grab me a little bag of Doritos by the counter. They went at $3 for a bag of Doritos that have 5 chips in them. I was like, yeah, no. Like, I'll just go home and make a sandwich or something, It's just, it's just so bad, Which wouldn't be bad. I wouldn't complain if just the money everyone made went up, Midwest Gold Fever, how's it going? But considering the vast majority of people in the last 10 years, paychecks have not tripled. The cost of everything is tripled, Well, at least doubled. Everything is at least doubled. Gold's doubled, rents have doubled, house prices have doubled, food's doubled. It's one of the reasons why I focus very heavily on ROI with, my daily ROI charts. Because, if you love this hobby, you got to get the most out of it as you can. So, I bought, cookies at Dollar Tree or $5. That drives me more crazy. I will tell you, so a long time ago, when I used to own my own company, I used to own my own marketing company, very long time ago when I lived in California. I had one and I called it the Dollar Deal Network. That was my company's name, was the Dollar Deal Network. And I had several websites that were based off of that. And they were all based off of, you would get paid to try dollar trials. So Netflix at the time, you could join Netflix for $1 to try it. Earthlink, you could try it for $1. AOL Premium, you could try it for $1. And I thought it was the most ingenious idea when I first started it, because there was a lot of sites like that. But unfortunately, everyone got away from the dollar trial model and either went to normal pricing. It would just be a trial. So Netflix went from, at the time, I think they were $7.99 a month. They went to just a $7.99 trial, and then it would go up to $8.99 or 30 days free, and then so needless to say, I had to revamp everything and started. I'd get the same complaints, dude. Why are you called the Dollar Deal Network and this trial is $4? Well, it's $1. Last bag we sold was $75 a bag. When I was in shopping, dang, $5. Yeah, I had to. Yeah, I talked to Michael right when he retired, and I tried to get him to send me a bottle. He was not having it. He was like, "Nope, I'm retired. Like, I'm not doing nothing." Luckily, though, one of my friends happened to have one of his bottles, and I had to beg him for a while to get him to send me that bottle, and so I could buy it from him. So I could add one to my shelf. All right, I think that's as clean as I'm gonna get it. Still does have some black sands in it. I can. So, all right. So you're gonna have to just watch some water from. Oh, I got some black sand to show up. There we go. Floaters, floaters. Get out of my pan. Hearts of Gold Prospecting. How's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Brad, your eBay seller. Any eBay seller with no guaranteed amount of gold, it's a scam. 100%. So, all right, y'all have to give me a second. You can just watch it. Some water here. We'll put a pan floating around in some water for you. Let me get all this gold out. We're gonna weigh it up. See what we get. Again, based on my calculations, it's like 2.7 for $400. Spin the pan. All right, there you go. Hypnotize y'all while you're doing it. All right, now I got the chunkies out. We're gonna clean it a little bit more. All right. What is? Almost got it all. Let me catch up on chat. 3.012. That's it. I was telling my daughter yesterday, I was like, you might want to start kind of garage sales with me. You know, like this is a year garage sales are going to be packed this year. All right. I think I got it all. All right. Here we go. Another gold. Just dry it off. Yeah, still a floater or two in there. Get rid of that. Way more blonde, way more black sand than I want, but oh well. Still gets way over 3.16. Let's cook this up a minute. Let's see. Shama trying to get the. I still want more lynch minings for my shelf, so. I wouldn't pay the prices people want for them, though. Luckily, I have my 2 on my shelf. I still need to work out a deal for John for his alpha bag, I think, so. Just because that's one of the paydirts I never reviewed or tried. Because right when I was getting ready to is when they kind of went kaput, so. There's the gold. Too much black sand. I'll definitely have to repan this before I put it in my vial. So give it a minute to cool off, then we're going to go weigh it up. So I'll make y'all look at my ugly mug while we wait for it to cool off. How long has it been since Lynch stopped sending? Was it 3 years now? Something like that? It's been a while. It wasn't last year. It was, I guess, the year before last. I don't know. I'll have to look up on my channel when I did the video. All right, let's do ugly mug time. I guess we can get rid of the pan because there's no gold in it. So just full ugly mode. But yeah, it's been a while. Here, let me see. There we go. We'll do a panning cam here. Move this one here. We'll move the overhead. That'll be the next one we're using. But here, let me look up on my videos. What was it? Lynch. July 2023. So I guess they stopped shipping in like April of 2023. So yeah, 3 years ago. That's sad. I did see, like I said, I keep track of their domain name, and they have been renewing their domain name for whatever reason. They've been spending that $25 a year to keep their domain name up. So. All right, let's get everything set up so we can weigh this up. And here, let me get all my stuff. But there we go. David, how's it going? No, I've not seen A3 on yet tonight. Just Sluicid, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Do we know what happened? No, he just got it was just bad financial. Then he had, him and his wife had been spending a lot of money on IVF to have a kid, and the kid was born, and then the kid passed away. So I think that was the camel that broke their back, but I think a lot of it just had to do with money, Gold Paydirt, I will tell anybody this, selling gold Paydirt is either one of two things. It's either a hobby or it's the second part of a business. You cannot run a gold Paydirt business as your main source of income. It just can't. There's just not enough profit in them. There's too many lulls and gold spiking and dropping. Like if you look at Gold Nugget Sales sells a lot of Paydirt. They're really good at selling Paydirt, but it's not really their main business. Their main business is really selling gold, and they promote selling gold by selling Paydirt on this side. Yukon Alley, her main job is mining. You know, that's her main income is mining, and she does some Paydirt on the side as a bonus, you know. And the problem with the Lynch mining was that was their main job. They made Paydirt their main job. And when you do something like that, you have to sell X amount of Paydirt every single month to bring in X amount of money to pay for your $1 million house and your brand new truck and all these things. So then they started doing like their promotions where they started doing this and that. And it just, you know, you get behind. You know, that's when they started selling, you know, if they sold, you know, $40,000 worth of, or say $10,000 worth of Paydirt in a month, and they had $5,000 worth of bills, you can't really send $7,500 worth of Paydirt out. They would send out $5,000 and say, okay, we'll just hold the other $2,500. And they just kept getting farther and farther in the hole. Like I did in my video, I don't know if I said it in my video or not, but they eventually took out a predatory loan, which is one of those loans where people loan to a business where they give you money up front to help fund your business. But then they take a huge percentage of your sales every single month till you're sold off, until you're paid off. They always go bad. Those loans just make it harder for you to do business. So, yeah. Yeah. So now, you know, the owner, Rhett, you know, like I said, it was a whole bunch of calamity of things. They were running their business bad. At one point, you know, it's just, like I said, they thought they were doing better with money. You know, you just can't, you can't count on Paydirt as your main business. So you started doing promos and this and that and that. And then, you know, they're spending horrendous amounts of money keeping up with their lifestyle and, you know, trying to have a kid and, you know, the stuff like that. I know they owe so many people bags of Paydirt, so many. I mean, John is owed a ton. So yeah, it just snowballed. They just kept getting further and further in debt, owing, you know, I'm sure it just finally got to the point where they said whatever money they made that month couldn't cover shipping out anything, you know, and they just got to that boiling point where net zero. So they just disappeared, you know. But like I said, they're still, you know, I don't think they're going to come back at any point soon, but they are still buying the domain, which was really curious. I can't figure out why they keep buying the domain name. So, you know, it's not like the name somebody could buy, like, you know, like I could understand, like, say, like if, you know, Gold Nugget Sales, if he decided to retire and leave, he might want to buy his domain for years and years and years so nobody could take over his domain and sell really bad Paydirt and tarnish his name, because he would always want people to know, like, oh, when Gold Nugget Sales used to sell, they were the best and this and this. Lynch mining, nobody's going to say that. You know, if somebody bought their domain and sold crappy Paydirt, the people are just like, he ended with crappy Paydirt, he's back with crappy Paydirt. So, and thank you very much, Brian, for dropping, and thank you for being here, for dropping the hidden link. Yeah, so make sure, everyone, you go over to the hidden link, leave a comment over there. So in a few minutes after we do the weighing, we will see how much, we'll pick one person to win a prize tonight. So I would buy a t-shirt. I wonder, I'm sure you could, I mean, I could, maybe I'll do that. Here, let me write that. I need to make myself a Lynch mining t-shirt. Because it was funny. I was looking at the swag at Gold Bay. I was looking at his t-shirts because I had never realized he added, you know, shirts and stuff to his website. And I was like, oh man, I want a Gold Bay t-shirt when I was looking at the Paydirt yesterday. But I don't like his designs. I don't like his new logo. I really dislike the brand new, buffed out, muscly guy breaking the rocks for Gold Bay. I like the old cartoon dude. But I just want a logo on a corner. I don't want the giant logo across the chest. I'm not a fan of giant logos on shirts. On the back, it's okay, but not on the front. I don't like big logos. So I'm going to have to make up a Gold Bay shirt and just get my own made. So what are we doing? A Lynch shirt and a Gold Bay shirt. So I'm going to have to get those made up because it's almost summertime, which I'm really looking forward to. I have so many t-shirts I can start wearing again. All my t-shirts from all the fellow YouTubers that I can start advertising. So don't count Lynch. You never know. Well, I've looked. I know all of his family is from California. All his family lives in California. So I wasn't sure if when times got tough, because I know they put their house up for sale in Arizona, if they were moving to California. So, and if they did move back to California, I don't think he would use that name again. I mean, like, I remember. So if anyone knows, there's a new seller came out, Bobby Nugget. They're on my daily ROI chart. When they came out, the amount of knowledge that they had for opening and not being part of the community that anyone knew of, to put up a really nice site with a decent ROI, and the way they were advertising was really smart, made somebody think that it might have been Lynch Mining, coming back with a new website. But I don't think it is, because I researched who the owner was and wasn't Rhett. So I'll trade channel shirts. Just email me. All right. No, let me see. Midwest Gold Fever. Well, it'd be better if you email me, Dylan at Miller Prospecting. Otherwise, I'm going to forget, even on my notes. So, California's an expensive state to live in. Yeah, well, his family's got money. His family owns a vineyard. So, his Rhett's family comes from money. So, do I want an MMP shirt? Yeah. Yeah. If anyone wants to send me a shirt, I'll take a shirt. That's why during the winter, I don't like, I'm not a huge fan of sweatshirts. They're kind of bulky, and, because I wear a couple of Miller Prospecting sweatshirts, but, you just don't wear them as much. Like when I'm upstairs, I won't wear it. But if I, my Alaskan Assassin Adventures shirt, like if I, on Tuesday show, and this is what I'm wearing, I will wake up, put that shirt on, wear it all day, then wear it on the live show. So I like Bobby Nugget. I like Bobby Nugget too. That's I started putting them on my daily ROI chart, and I had another Paydirt seller saying, I think they're kind of sus and this and this. They're selling good Paydirt, extra large, extra large. wish it was a large, but those days, no matter how hard I try, I way past that. So yeah, but I like Bobby Nugget. I think he's got a good Paydirt. I'm kind of sad that he, I think me promoting him very heavily on my daily ROI chart for his low priced bag was kind of got a lot of kickback. He jacked up that price significantly, unfortunately. But that's what happens whenever you start promoting somebody. You're like, oh, look at the great ROI on this. They tend to lower that ROI. So, and speaking of ROI, let's go weigh up some gold. So we're going to, here, let me turn on this so it has a time to warm up. Let's shrink down the ugly mug and weigh up the gold we got today. And again, what is it supposed to be? 2.736 is what I'm guessing on. Oh, wait, I have to turn off the panning cam. Deactivate. Okay. Overhead cam, activate. And I was looking at new laptops for down here, and I was trying to find one because I have, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 USBs that I use, and my current laptop only has 2, so I always have to turn stuff on, turn new stuff on. But I have not been able to find a good laptop, well, a low-priced laptop for under $1,000 that can handle 4 USBs running at the same time. So, all right, let's configure the video, camera control, make it a little darker. There we go. Nope, that's too dark. There we go. All right, let's weigh up some gold. Let's shrink down the ugly mug. There we go. So here we go. Let's see how much we have. Now, you might not be able to hear me. Here, I'll move. Let me see if I can move my microphone. There we go. You can stare at my shelf without me blocking it. But here we go. Let's weigh this up. Here, we'll put it on. Here first. So there we go. So you can guess how much you think is in there. We'll give it a minute for everyone to guess. was that? Yeah. Yeah, I know imagination. I didn't plan on really. I plan on keeping the same setup. You know, you just look. All right, let's weigh it up. All right, let's see. Now, before we get to the final weight, remember, this was panned during a live show. So if I miss something, I'm not going to blame the seller. There might be gold in my Tuesday tailings. But there we go. 2.805. That's how much gold we recovered. Back. So not bad, not bad. I'm not going to complain about that. Let's see what my ROI is. We'll do ROI calculations. 2.8. And thank you, John. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm very proud of my shelf. I love it. So let's see. What do we get? 160. Times, how much did we find? So I found $451.02 worth of gold. Divided by 395. It's 114% ROI. 0.18. 114.18% ROI. There we go. All right, ugly mug time. Oh, now the scale's settled. Maybe I've jump bumped it. So not bad, not bad. I will take 114% ROI. I had my minimum that I thought I should have gotten was 112.80. I ended up with 114.18. And that's if I didn't miss any gold. I don't think I probably did. If I missed anything, it'd be fine gold. And then there was a little bit of black sands in there, so it probably made up for the difference. I'm not going to repan it out either. If I miss something, it's in there. That's my Tuesday tailings. We'll leave it at that. So eventually, if I miss something, that fine gold will fall into one of my Patreon members' hands. So makes me wonder what a $300 double will be. Yeah, I mean, even, you know, with the 110% ROI, even if he doesn't put anything extra in there, you really can't complain. You know, like I know I've seen some reviews before, and this, I will say, this always does irk me a little bit when somebody will buy, say, a 1 gram bag of Paydirt and they find exactly 1 gram. I've seen reviewers be actually upset with that they didn't get a little extra. You're not guaranteed extra. You're guaranteed a gram. That's what they sent you. You know, it's nice if you get a little bit more, but that's all they're guaranteeing you, and and in most cases, you also have to think scales have fluctuations. So the seller scale might say 1.05 and they did add something and your scale says 1.00. It's just the scale's difference. But, I'm always happy with whatever I get as long as it's the minimum, or what they guarantee. So it's also the same thing with, it's one of the reasons why I dislike gold and Paydirt so much, and some of these sellers isn't because they're selling bad Paydirt, because if somebody puts a Paydirt up on eBay and it's $40 and it says, oh, this is from Arizona and the seller's from Arizona, it says no added gold, they didn't promise me anything. If I spend $40 and I get a 10% ROI, that's it. I wouldn't buy it again. I wouldn't recommend it. But it's the sellers that are saying like, oh, this $40 bag is the richest $40 bag in history. Nobody's ever had a $40 bag this great. You're going to get more gold than you've ever seen. Those are the ones where you're overhyping stuff. So if somebody promises a gram, you get a gram. I was promised pretty much whatever 2.73 is what I should have been guaranteed. And I found 2.8. So I am very happy with that. I'm very happy with this ROI. I gave away a few ounces of silver last year before it jumped up so much. Yeah. Yeah, I've got if anyone is interested, I will be putting up some slabbed silver on Patreon for sale tomorrow. I have 4 NGC 1 ounce Australian spider slabs of silver I need to sell. Just they were in my kids' collection, and I'm moving in a different direction with my kids' collection. So I'm just trying to sell them so I can buy 4 different 1 ounce things of silver. Yeah, Grateful American. That too. You know, that's another thing. People got to understand, like, you know, when I do my ROIs, a lot of times it's surprising. Like when I did my ROI for yesterday's video, I thought I did the numbers wrong. Even after I posted the video, I was at Liz's house when the video went live, and I was seeing the numbers. I was like, this has to be wrong. I was like, I calculated the numbers wrong. I'm like, I'm going to have to pull this video, reshoot it in the morning, and re-put it up there, because just so little amount of gold adds so much to the ROI. You know, like if you're guaranteed 1 gram and you get 1.1, that 0.1 at, you know, $167, that's an extra $16 worth of gold. You know, when you're buying a bag of Paydirt for $180, gold spot is $160. If somebody adds 0.1 to that, that's their profit, you know. So these days it's a lot harder, I think, for Paydirt sellers to have that extra in there. So what's this deal? Hold on. We're in the wild. Golden Paydirt is the reason. Yeah, they're the reason that everyone starts selling or quits selling. I'm in Indiana, if you're asking me. Oh, there you go, Nightbot. Yeah, so make sure everyone go check out not only this seller, motherloadprospecting.com, but check out his YouTube channel. Nightbot just posted it up. Make sure you scroll up a little bit. Go check out his YouTube channel so you can follow along with him. And if you see anyone else in chat that has a YouTube channel has been talking and saying they've posted videos, make sure you follow everybody. It's the one great thing about this community. It costs absolutely nothing to support each other just by following each other on YouTube, adding to each other's subscribers. It's a great way for us all to grow and build this community and promote prospecting, promote gold, panning, things like that. So Alabama. No, I'm in southern Indiana. Very, very Evansville. I'm all the way at the very bottom. So, make sure you subscribe to everybody. And then again, make sure I will post the link here. Gold. I'll post the link here. Here, I will open up here. Let me. Here, we'll put that. Here, we'll put the gold so you can see the gold. Can't really see it too much, but you can kind of see the gold. Here, let me see. Central Oregon, Maine. Oh, thank you, PA. Thank you very much. Yeah, make sure you go to the hidden link. As always, YouTube and its affiliates have nothing to do with this giveaway. This is 100% by me, just to give back to everyone for watching the live show, hanging out with me, and having fun. So, we're going to do, let me go, make sure I have everything set up for tonight's hidden video. What should I do? We'll put this here just so I don't forget. There we go. All right, so we are all set for that. I'll set this up. Now, as always, if I pull your name, you must post something in live chat. That is my one rule for this giveaway. The giveaways I do on my live shows, you actually have to be here. So if I pull your name, you must post something in live chat saying, I'm here, or whatever you want to say. Dylan is the best, awesome, things like that. just post something like that, and then we'll go to the wheel, spin, and see what prize you got. And then then you just have to email me your address so I can send you stuff off. So, and here. And there you go. It probably isn't a workable link because I didn't put the HTTPS in there, but Scott Roberts, what's up? Just in time for the end. Lord Shadow, I said hi to you. How are you doing? I have your video up. So as soon as this show's over, I'm going to watch your video, and I'm going to watch Real Mr. Hogan's video. So, well, you can't. You can all say it, but you say it once once I pull your name. So. Yeah, the Alabama Gold Camp's not too bad. It's a fun place to go. I mean, you're not going to find a whole bunch of gold, but it's fun. Especially if you have kids. If you have kids, I suggest everyone take their kids to, any of the gold places that they have. Alabama Gold Camp, any of the places in, California or North Carolina, just let them shovel stuff in there at the end of the day. And if you really want to get your kids involved, I can tell you what I did when my kids were young and I first started panning. They did not like it. They did not see the joy in panning and finding 2 or 3 specks of gold. Now, I will say this was a while back, so gold was much cheaper, as I went and bought them each a bag of Paydirt, and I also bought some 1-gram nuggets and threw them in there. So when they were panning, they found some big chunky gold, which they should probably still have to this day, I think, unless, their other parent sold them. But, and it just got them into it. You could kind of do the same thing, like bring a couple pickers with you if you go to Alabama Gold Camp. And if you're renting like their high banker, just have the kids shovel the high banker all day. And then when they're done, just drop like 1 nugget, like a little 0.5-gram nugget at the top of the high banker. And be like, oh, look what you found. That'll get those kids to want to go back every single weekend, What do you have for them, Bob Barker? Yeah, John, you should take them. Like I said, just go there, spike it, because you're not going to find a lot of gold. Like I know people that have gone there and worked all day. I went there, I used their dredge for 4 hours, didn't find a speck of gold. I had a blast though. I had a blast. My kids had a blast. My ex didn't have a blast, but that's her. We all had a blast panning. And if I would have thought about it then, I probably would have done the high bankers instead. We did use the high bankers for, I think it was like an hour. But, again, it was just high banker full of garnets and stuff like that. And if I would have thought about it, I would have brought a couple, pickers with me, thrown it at the top, and they would have been more excited about it and wanting to go again. And the next time you go, you just put less pickers. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's like taking fish. Yeah, there used to be a place in California. It was a farm. It was a fishing farm, like where they farm, I guess, whatever kind of fish, tilapia. It was like a tilapia farm, and they let you fish. They had 1 tank that you could go to and fish in, and you could take your pole. Like they would rent you the pole. You'd go in there. You'd get these little balls of bait that you'd put on the hook. As soon as you dropped it in the water, you hooked one, and then they would sell it to you. So you'd take it out, and if you caught one, you didn't throw it back. You had to bring it to them, and you'd buy it. And kids loved it. They'd go in there and just, wow, I caught a fish. Wow, caught a fish. Once you got to the end and you're like, wow, my kids just caught 14 fish in 15 minutes. Now I got to buy them all. The hatchery, that's it. Yeah. Put together full clip on how-tos next week. Oh, that's awesome, Mr. Real Hogan. Yeah, I'm going to watch your video, Lord Shadow's video after this. So, all right, let's get rid of the 2.8 grams of gold. Go to the face cam and the window capture. Make sure that's on. Yeah. So let's do the giveaway. Shrink down the ugly mug. This ended up being a longer show, even though the Paydirt was the weighing it. I might have to start weighing again now that I moved everything around so I can just do the overhead cam. Maybe we'll start weighing up Paydirts more often, the gold I find. Golden trout. Yeah, fishing in California is absolutely awesome, but probably why it's so popular there. All right, shrink down the ugly mug. Let's do the giveaway. Nope, we don't want to shrimp. We'll shrimp down this. So there you go, the absolute best website on the interweb, MillerProspecting.com. Don't forget to watch the last video I just posted, the Motherload Prospecting, as well as the Switchback Sluice. And then one before that, the Lucky Strike, top 10 recommended sellers. I still have not updated this. I'm really having a dilemma about putting new sellers up who haven't been around a long time. And I've only got 10 spots here, so it's hard. Do I take off, a seller that's been around for a long, long time to put a brand new seller up? We'll have to see. Last 100 reviews, like I said, 118.66% from Motherload Prospecting. Really can't beat that. That's a huge difference between, say, Clash Gold, another fellow YouTuber who had a 0% ROI. The difference is 5,000 subscribers for Motherload Prospecting, 500,000 from Clash Gold. That's the subscriber count, and those are the ROIs they have on their Paydirt. So, all right, now let's go. Here are all the prizes we have up for tonight. We have a 0.15 gram bag of Anderson Coins Paydirt, a Voga Slobber Paydirt, a 1 grain gold bar, some Miller Prospecting gold-plated dimes, a random 90% silver quarter, random 40% silver Kennedy, random 90% silver dime, 1.5 gram Franklin mint car, 1 gram random silver bar, some Paydirt, another Paydirt from MBM, a mini keychain Paydirt from Lucky Lodi, some ore sample, a natural Kazakhstan copper nugget. This thing is actually really, really cool. A random gold bag from Alan Curie had sent me, random $1 silver certificate, PCGS presidential dollar. Gave off 2 of those last week, so still have 2 more. A mini gold skull keychain, a mini Miller Prospecting keychain, some weird copper thing. You do not want to win this, but I need to get rid of it. I spent like $40 on it on whatnot. And some 1/4 ounce copper rounds and sticker packs. Those are all the prizes everyone can win. Let's get rid of this ad. You made your money off of me. So again, the rule is if I pull your name, you must post something in live chat before I leave, and then we spin the wheel. So if I pull your name, make sure you're here. Good luck to everybody. Thank you all for being here and putting up with me and watching the ugly mug and just having fun with me while I pan. So let's fetch. Anything goes. No replies. Let's see. Make sure all the names are up here. I didn't even check. Okay, the comments we're going through. I forgot to check for that. Let's pick a winner. Good luck again to everybody. Imagination to form. There you go. Gold is so pretty. Maybe you'll win something. Maybe you'll win some gold. Let's go to the wheel of prizes while we wait for you to post something in live chat. So imagination to form. You're the winner. All right, Donna, good night. I really do hope you're feeling better. Feel free to email me, complain, talk about life. I always appreciate when you can't get here. What's your take for Northern Nevada Paydirt? I like them. They're on my top 5, on my top 10 recommended Paydirt sellers. I like Northern Nevada Gold. I wish he wasn't raising his prices so much, but I like him. I mean, he's not the funnest Paydirt. You get very little material in his bags. I actually have 2 of them on my shelf over here. You're only going to get about 8 ounces of material. Most of his gold is really chunky, so it's more of a beginner bag of Paydirt usually. He doesn't tell you that in his description, so you don't know that, but just from my experience. So, but the ROIs are always really good. So, did Imagination of Form post? He is not posted. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Yeah, he is. Woot, woot. All right. Let's see what your prize is. We're going to shuffle it up. Shuffle these up. And there we go. Good luck. Perry the Platypus. Pick him up something good. What's he getting? Is it going to be the PCGS dollar? Oh, no, it's not. It's not. You get a silver dime. You get a silver dime. There you go. Not that there's anything wrong with the PCGS dollars. It just means when I run out of one prize, I have to think of something new and I have to run and buy something new to add to the wheel. So, and I was running low on them. But there you go. And as you can see, yeah, Northern Nevada Gold on my website is number 5. So above Brian Thomas Gold and Gold Bay. So Flash in the Pan, then Bear Prospecting, and Brad's Bucket. So well, there we go. Now that you know, everybody, I've got to force you all to look at my ugly mug full screen. But there we go. So yeah, not gonna complain. Motherlode Prospecting, really good Paydirt. They're gonna be on my daily ROI chart tomorrow. And I'm sure they'll be on there from then on with those 110% ROIs. He did tell me, Nico did send an email to the bag of Paydirt that I ordered just in my name. He did tell me he is coming out with more Paydirts, other Paydirts than those. So he will have some new Paydirts. I don't know if they're all going to have 110% ROIs or what they're going to have, but it's here somewhere. I did move it. Let me see. Can you see it? Oh, you might not be able to see it. No, you can't see it. Oh, it's up. It's on top of this bucket. I didn't realize you couldn't, the camera cut off that top of it, but it's on top of that white bucket in chat. I need to move it to the other side here. See, it was up there. I just need to remember, I need to put it on this side. So we'll put it here for now, but I need to move it to, I need to remember to hide it on this side because I always forget, because when I'm looking at it a lot of times, I just don't think about what my camera sees. And I forgot that the camera cuts off like the top 4 inches on that shelf. Because I was trying to be crafty. I was like, I'll put it at the top. He won't look at the top. But I always forget chat covers stuff. Because when I'm looking on my camera, when I'm shooting my videos, there's no chat. It's only during these live shows. No. Shane, good luck with that. Bought a $100 bag. Good luck with that as well. So I do have a video coming out Monday. I'm not sure if I might have 2 videos. So I do have a video planned about gold. And then I'm really going to try to shoot a second part on the switchback. I have another video I want to do about this switchback. Especially since the owner has been commenting on my last video about it. And some of the people who love the switchback have been telling me I'm wrong in the way I tested it. I want to shoot a second video just to show other reasons why I don't like the switchback. So I might have a second switchback video coming out as well as another video. And then next Tuesday, we're going to be panning out some flash in the pan Paydirt. I haven't panned out any flash in the pan Paydirt in a long time. It will be a shorter show next week because I do have my son coming over. But yeah. I want to go fix me some barbecue chicken. Well, there you go, TM. Yeah, I still need your info. Yeah, I don't keep anything from Whatnot. I don't even know how to log into my Whatnot anymore. But yeah, email me. Here. Let me see. Yeah, just email me, Dylan at Miller Prospecting with it. I like my switchback. I mean, like I said, the switchback. Okay, so I got an argument with somebody about my comments the other day where they said the switchback worked. Like, how could I say the functionality was 6 when it caught 100% of the gold? There's a difference between the parts of the switchback. The switchback is the adventure sluice. The adventure sluice costs $30. They just built something around the adventure sluice. The adventure sluice caught all the gold. Not the sides, not that little grizzly bar, none of that. So you took $30 sluice and you added $170 worth of PT 3D printing to it. It didn't make it better. So like I said, I was explaining to the guy, I did a review on the Cleanup Buddy, I did a review on the Boss Buddy, and I did a review on the Switchback. All 3 of them had a 98% capture rate. All 3 of them, the top half, the top part, only the Switchback has the bottom part. 98% capture rate. The Cleanup Buddy is $90. The Switchback is $200. So you're paying $120 to get 2%. It takes twice as long to process material through the switchback, which means that if you had 10 pounds of material you needed to run, you could run it twice through the cleanup buddy. You could run, or the boss buddy. You could run it through it twice before you finished panning it, switching in the switchback. So, I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad system. That was my problem with the sluice, is they have a great system. They had the boss buddy and they had the cleanup buddy. Both of those worked. They worked really, really well. One was $90, $80, or $90, or whatever it is. One is $90, one was $150. They added in a newer model for $60 more that doesn't do anything new. It didn't do anything. The only reason they had this, and in one of the comments in there, was they designed it so they could then add in the roly-poly magnetic thing. That's why the switchback was designed. The inventor of the roly-poly is the person who designed the switchback. So he just said, hey, look, if you have these two sluices already, neither one of them can have the roly-poly on it. What if I design a new one? It was just, they are not solving a problem. They created problems. The Grizzly bar, the only reason it's on there is because they made it 2-tier. They didn't need a second tier. I'm not saying it doesn't catch gold, but you could catch gold for a lot less. You know, you could take an adventure sluice, nail it to a piece of plywood, put it at a 15-degree angle, put a garden hose on top, and it'll catch 98% of your gold. That's my problem with it, is they keep adding more and more money. It wasn't a brand new sluice. Like if both mats were brand new matting that they just added for those, I'd say, yeah, it's probably worth it. You know, it's just like if you look at Doc's videos from Gold Hog, whenever he puts out a video about a new sluice or new something or another, he tells you they test it for years and years, or months and months, not years and years, but they test it over and over and over just to make sure it works. Obviously, to me, they did not test the switchback, because if you saw my video, as soon as you start running material through the switchback, the Grizzly bars pack, and then you have to scoop it off and clean it off. One test. If they'd have just done one test, they'd have seen, hey, this is not working. We need to change the angle of the Grizzly bars so the material runs off, or we need to change the flow rate to make it faster flow rate so it blows the material off. One day's testing, and they would have figured out that, and they didn't. So recirculating pump or a garden hose. Well, I mean, but you understand what I'm saying. You can easily take the adventure sluice is what they're building it on. They used to have it's still on his website. They used to have a header box for the adventure sluice. You can still buy the header box. You can buy that. They just keep adding more and more money onto it. So the real Mr. Hogan, I've run the cleanup buddy 3 or 4 times to get everything. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it just depends. But I just don't think, like, it just, to me, they made problems for something else. But I'll talk about it in my video. I mean, it works. It just, to me, if you have an $80 thing that works and a $200 thing and they both work the exact same, you buy the $80 one. You know, like, they didn't improve on the, like, especially on the boss buddy. Now, it is an improvement over the cleanup buddy because it's more area to catch material, but it's not really an improvement over the boss buddy when you got 98% capture rate, 98% capture rate, you know, but no worries. No worries, Nico. No worries. I didn't think you did. Based on the tone in the email, just from the email, I didn't think you knew who I was, but, you know, it was just a bag for, like I said, typically I have secret shoppers buy all my Paydirts. I have somebody else buy my Paydirts. And if I buy one for Tuesday, a lot of times I just buy them in my name so I don't have to pay a secret shopper and all that. So they're just selling products. Yeah, that's it. But they're not selling improvements. So still confused about the dual pump piston prospecting. I don't know. Oh, was that the other invention they have on there? JP, how's it going? If you're a mailbox miner, you should just pan it. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I've had people question me for years if I use Miller tables, blue bowls. I pan everything. Mini cleanup buddy gave to a friend. Yeah. I mean, I have a cleanup buddy, and like I said, I had my gold cube. I ended up selling it because I just never used it. I have piles of sluices behind this wall. I have a shelf behind this wall on the other side just full of sluices. that I plan on reviewing one day, then giving away or selling just because I never use them because I pan everything. I love the panning. Magic Mat Mini Cleanup Buddy. Huh. So, but okay, everybody, I'm going to get out of here. I've got some stuff to do. Hold on. Yeah, and Whiskey Lover, yes, I know. That's what the snuffer bottles are definitely going to put up. I don't use snuffer bottles. Yeah, so they're definitely going to go on the wheel. Thank you very much for that and the coffee. I forgot to mention that tonight. Yeah, no worries, Learn. No worries. Nico. I agree, John Gear. I agree. Like I said, I'm not trying to, hurt anyone's business. I've never gone after anyone's business. It's just my opinion on something, on how they can fix stuff. And I mean, Gold Nugget Sales, I've given Gold Nugget Sales bad reviews. I've given Vendetta Prospecting bad reviews. I use a criteria. If you don't like my criteria, fix it. Like, for example, this Paydirt that I did yesterday, Motherload Prospecting, I panned out today, I did a review. He got an 8.1. And I gave him my 4 for description. He can spend 30 minutes writing a new description, putting it up there. He'd have a 10 on that, And there are countless people that have websites that have sent me emails and said, "Hey, what would this description score?" And I'll tell them, "Hey, it's an 8, but if you add this, it'll score a 10." Lynch Mining's description and all his Paydirts I wrote, because he kept going back and forth with me about it. There's a lot of them on there. I'm here to help Paydirt sellers. I want Paydirt sellers to thrive. The more Paydirt sellers there are, the more competition there is, the higher the ROIs will be, the better the Paydirt will be. We all have fun. So, and it's the same thing with equipment. I want people that go out, that are prospecting at home and can't pan very well and want a sluice. I want them to have the best sluice possible. So I will find the problems with it and they can fix it or not, or they can throw a fit, Yeah, and like I said, that's exactly Mr. Hogan. Not everyone can pan really, really good, so they, want a system to find the gold. And there's a lot of people that do that. I mean, Clash does all his reviews. He runs all his material through a sluice. He doesn't pan that out. He doesn't pan it out. He runs it through a sluice and he does a cleanup. Some people just aren't. It's 100% my fault, HD. You know that, so. And I mean, sometimes I do get angry in my videos if, because if I think somebody's ripping somebody off or if they're not doing well, like, somebody said that I obviously hated the switchback, and I do generally hate the switchback because it didn't improve on anything and it caused more problems, by having it 2 layers and, I'll talk about it more in the video, but I got to get out of here. Everybody, I'm going to go call my kids. Thank you, everybody. New video coming out Monday, live show next Tuesday. We're going to be panning out some Here, flash in the pan, Paydirt. So thanks everyone for hanging out with me tonight, and hopefully we'll see you all next Tuesday. The gold cubes are awesome. The gold cube is one of the best things, especially if you add in some Dream Mat to it. Dream Mat on top mat, like replace the slick plate on the very top with Dream Mat. Klesh does pan, but in his videos for his reviews, Klesh runs it through a sluice a lot of times. So if you watch the Clash videos, what he does, he pans it out and then off camera, when I do off camera to catch the gold, I repan it second time, third time. He just runs it through a sluice. He has a little sluice in his thing. I'm not saying he doesn't pan. That's what I misspoke. He does pan, but when you shoot a review and you're trying to get all the gold out of it, like for tonight, I don't care if I miss all the gold. But when you're shooting a review, you got to make sure you get all the gold. So yeah, once he pans everything out, he pans it all out. And then, because when you're panning for a video for like me, I can tell you, you're going to miss gold when you got a camera over your head and you can't stick your face into it. And then he runs it through his little cleanup sluice thing. All right. Yeah, aluminum sheet is easily bent at home. So, but all right, everybody, I'm out of here. Thanks everyone for the great show. Make sure you go check out motherlodeprospecting.com. Come check me out on patreon.com/Miller Prospecting and come hang out with me again next Tuesday. But I'm out.